In this episode of Mobilehome Makeover, I start to look at very basic plumbing and I meet my waterloo. Oh, before I get into replacing the sink today, I gotta take a minute to just appreciate how far we've come. It's starting to look pretty white in here. My mission for today is to remove this sink and replace it. Lowe's.com, whose instructions were slightly more complicated than HomeDepot.com, recommended taking a photo of the plumbing. So this is a drain, and that's a drain, and then this over here I believe is the dishwasher drain. And yeah, I'm gonna need to rehook all this up, but with only one drain. So that's some measuring to do, but my step one is just simply removing this wrapping so I can get a better picture. Fortunately, I had the foresight to tape over this a little bit so I don't have to work on painted over plumbing stuff. And when I took the bag off, it was a little bit moist, so there's some moisture happening here. I noticed that there was a water drip happening, and I want to see where it's coming from. I'm going to turn up the water up here. I don't know, let's see what happens. Anyway, I saw before that there was a drip coming from the top. Oh, I can see it right here. So that's a good thing, actually. It's not happening here, which means these are in okay shape. I'm planning on reusing these supply lines if I can, so I won't have to mess with these joints. I'll just continue cleaning them up a little bit. And unwrapping this, I see there's a little moisture around the hot feed, which it turns out is this one. And there's a little bit of moisture around the cold one, so yeah, I'm hoping it's on the faucet side of things. Turning off the water now. And draining the sink. Before I go too far in this process, I'm going to triple check my measurements. 32 by 19, because if the sink is too big, I might, need to cut a hole again if there's room to wiggle room. But if the sink is too small, then we're going to need a different sink because I can't do anything to fill up that gap. So I got 19 by 32 as my opening here. Let's go find out what the sink is. Another unboxing. This is the Glacier Bay sink. The Home Depot brand. Also, I don't know whether this was included or whether we had to order this separate. There's a sink strainer that has to get attached, and here is the faucet itself. Right now I'm concerned about this guy, although these need to get attached before this gets installed. See from here that we ordered a 2-hole sink. I think the faucet will go through there and the soap dispenser will be there. This is the drain right here. I hope I have some plumber's putty, otherwise it's another trip to the hardware store. I'm guessing these are clips or something, and it looks like there's a actual cutout diagram, so that should be helpful. 22 inches, which is good. That's bigger than our existing. I don't know if that's good or not. Actually, that might be a total problem because this is 22 inches right here. And that's all the way to the back. We might not be able to fit that sink in here. Although it's looking like the hole it needs is only 16 1/4, so maybe it will work. This is all so like nerve-wracking. I mean, it's looking like it's gonna basically fit, I think. Use the template edge for cutout line. Edge is like 21 inches. Going over here, 21 inches. This is gonna be fucking tight, and I need to look underneath to see whether we really even have that room. because it's even tighter when you get under here and you start looking at reinforcements. I'm kind of thinking we don't. Unfortunately, I think we need a new sink. It's like news I really don't want to have to deal with, but it's just a fucking reality. If it's not gonna fit, it's not gonna fit. And I only have 20 inches in here to play with. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make this sink work. Please check actual template against physical sink for most accurate cut. So I guess I can look at this and see whether there's any way I can jimmy this in here, but I'm thinking not. It is a pretty sink. Taking this out and saving the pieces in case I need to repack it. Doing so, I'm seeing that there's this metal edge right here that is part of the clipping system. It's at 21. That's where that 21 comes from, and I'm not going to be able to use this sink. Sealing it back up, you know, life wouldn't be so sweet without the little, you know, setbacks. I'll put it out in the carport, ready to return it. You know, this is why you measure stuff, and you gotta be patient. As well, turn the water back on and be thankful that I didn't disassemble the sink already. Okay, with that fiasco set aside temporarily, it's looking like we're gonna have to just buy a mobile home sink. It might be a double basin. Kim is still hopeful that she's gonna find a single basin, but I personally have given up on my web searching. So with that fiasco aside, I'm going to try something else, which is taking another look at the floor squeak. Particularly, I watched a video that said you can drop some glue, water-soluble glue, into the seam where it's squeaking. We have one of those in the hallway. So I got this glue, which is water cleanup. I'm hoping it's water-soluble, and I'm going to mix it up and put it in there. The video I saw was from Australia, so they had a different brand, but they said use a 6-to-1 mixture. I've got my glue mix and I've got my crack. Honestly, I don't, you know, there's not a ton of room in here, but I'll give it a shot. It said flex it around a bit while you're painting it in to make sure it, you know, really gets in there. I'm guessing this is actually joist squeaking, but who the heck knows, man. Well, I discovered one more that might need this stuff. I'm not expecting much out of this because my spirits are kind of down right now, but at least it is soaking in this one spot. Now it might just be dribbling down onto the fiberglass and insulation underneath and ruining it. I have no idea, but just to see if I could make the day any better, I decided to take out a toilet. In the videos, they say use a sponge to remove the leftover water, and they show somebody dabbing out this guy, but unfortunately there's leftover water in there too after I plunged. And yeah, that's fucking disgusting. So I'm actually going to flush the toilet more after doing all that plunging. Alright, and here we have an acceptable level of discussing the dirt. The coloration in there, believe it or not, is actually just from mineral settling out from the water. This toilet hasn't been used in a while. Eric hasn't showed up often in the videos, but when he does, he comes for the glory.
Oh yeah, that's same as the fun part.
It's gnarly looking, I don't know. Doesn't actually look that bad considering what it is. Well, it's not glamorous, but it is nice to get a little something done. Tommy, I got a question for you. So this is like corroded right here. This is a little bit lifted up right there. The previous toilet wasn't leaking, but do I need to replace this piece? It's the minor victories, man. Although I talked to my friend Tommy, the plumber, and he said the brand of toilet that we bought is questionable. And he also had some recommendations about the wax seal, and he said the flange is probably okay, although it does show some signs of corrosion and a little uplifting. But he said if the toilet wasn't wiggling before, it's probably fine. I don't know if the toilet was wiggling before, I didn't really test. So, yeah, we'll have to just sleep on that one. Well, you know when the highlight of your day is taking out a toilet, it's been a rough one. After that, I put on the bunny suit and did some more painting. Then it got real smoky overnight. I stayed up trying to look at the meteor shower, but I didn't see any meteors. I did get a visit from the cat, though. Are you a good boy? Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time.